Hi, I'm Jacob. In this tutorial I will show you some basics about Mazetools Mutant and what's about multi-perspective music. When you start the app, you will have first this screen, and you can choose out of 7 scenes with different musical and sounding environments. So you have here also a little guide with some basics about the software. You have here a menu where you can load your last session. You can actually load your last session, and I will just choose now the Roots Cube. So I'm just back now at the operator space, and you can already hear something in the background. There's a noise coming, like a rhythm, and some other samples, some soundscape. And this is about the special thing in Mutant. You have like predefined soundscapes where you act in. You have here a section of 7 instruments. You have 2 drum modules, a sampler module, and 4 synth modules. Here you have the FX setup, which is kind of master effect controller. I will use it later, or you see it also in the demo a lot of times. When you just tap or click on the free space here, somewhere on the free space, which is not inside the circle, you come back. Then you have different modes in which you can play the instrument. You can make a snapshot of your scene. Here in the middle, you got a little menu where you can also make a snapshot, record the sound as a wave, activate the collab mode, save your session, go to the cell editor or record the mic. You can see here the key of the cell, the beats per minute and the pitch. So when I tap on the key, you see here a little interface where you can define the key of this actual cell. So you can just tap on this little drop here, and you can choose out of different keys and scales. For example, pentatonic scale and C, or you can use also a chord. Actually, the chord is here interpreted as a scale. I would choose now pentatonic minor scale in B. Here I also have kind of main reverb of the scene. Now it's really short. Now it's quite long. When you start something, just use your finger and tap into the surface. And you hear there's a hi-hat in the middle. There's a bass drum on the left. And a snare drum on the right. I'm here in the impulse interface. When I tap on this little 3 icons here, I come into a submenu, and here I can change the quantization of the impulse. So I can just change it to 24, or I can also change it just to 8. And here I can also change the speed of the sequence. So when I make it 4 times this fast, so when I change here the quantization to 4, I can just make a nice 4 to the floor beat. And you see here on the left, you can change the drum modules. So with these arrows, I can just change the bass drum. when I want to delete my loop, I can just hold a finger on the surface and will override my input. Or I can also clear here the scene by tapping on clear. Here you see there's the envelope menu. Here I can change also the pitch and the envelope of this drum. Check the impulse. The third menu is the filter. Okay, this is a little bit extreme, so change the bass drum back. And go with the pitch a bit up. So go now to the percussion and add some additional drums. See, I have a 16th quantization. Also it can change here a bit the loop and for example the filter. There's a little trick. You can just use 2 fingers, and when you go with the 2 fingers to the right, it will distort the sound. And when you go up, then it's the more high pass filter. We will go down, it's a low pass filter. And every input I make will be recorded and looped. And so we have here already some nice drum layer, and just add some bass. And you can see here I play now the notes in the scale I choose before. I can edit here some fundamental things like the octave of the bass, or also just the filter. Or also the envelope. I can activate the reverb by this button here, and the bass layer will be added to the bass of the main reverb. But I will turn this off now and go now to the ARP instrument. See here, it's the ARP instrument, and also add some additional layers. And you hear a nice delay sound, and this is because of here in the effects section you have some special mixture of a chorus and an echo. I activated here now the reverb, and so go to the cell editor and to the reverb section and make some more reverb so you can hear actually the linking to the reverb. Okay, let's go to the string instrument. Just add the other synth instrument. to the sampler, just make a little trick here, set it to grain synth, just tap on it, and there's a nice preset. Bring the 4 to the floor, back. There's a little trick. When I tap twice on one of the instruments, it's solo. When I tap twice on it again, all instruments are activated. Okay, what was this? Actually, this is the heart of Mazetools Mutant. That's why it's called multi-perspective music. You have here this little dot, and you can turn this Hypercube, and then it will shift the musical perspective. It will change the beats per minute, it will change the key, and it will change the main pitch, which makes also different effect in combination by changing the key, or actually the scale. And I can immediately change it back, but first we will hear now how the loop is sounding in this cell configuration. Just remember, we came from there. And you can, compare it kind of with a vinyl. When you put the record on your record player and make the track on, you have it 33 running, and when you then hit the 45 button, it will play faster and the track sounds really different. So here's kind of the same effect. So you can hear a record kind of from different perspectives. You can change the pitch and you can change the speed of the record player. So in this way you have one input, like the music of the record, and you have different ways to listen to it. And here's kind of the same. You have one input, like all your impulses from the first loop, and you can then hear it from different perspectives and have several outputs. So Mazetools Mutant is an instrument which works also nice in combination with other tools. So you can define your scale and your key, and you can go here also to the setup menu and activate maybe Ableton Link and be sync with other tools, or also turn on the metronome, or turn off the cell rhythm, or maybe you have also idea to hide the cube and change the visuals somehow. And what's a really nice feature is also the sampler. So activate it again, go here to the sampler option, and there you have the same sampler editor. We have also some delivered samples you can just use, change the pitch by your own, reverse it, or use it also with a granular controller. And when you think now, okay, this is a really nice loop, I would take a snapshot. In this menu, you can now make a little icon of your snapshot, or you can just go back and don't do anything with it. But your snapshot will be still in the list. So go back again to it. So in this menu, you can draw an icon of your snapshot. You can make a rating of your snapshot. I would just, make this icon looking a bit different. It was quite simple, some nice energies, and then push it to the cloud. And you see here, there's a lot of snapshots in the snapshot cloud we delivered here. And actually this goes back to a project called Mazetools Assist, where we invented a kind of metadata system which works together with the saving system, which makes it possible to rate snapshots and then have it in a cloud, in the three-dimensional cloud. And it's kind of several more perspectives you can choose from. And you can also filter this snapshots by speed or by chord. I can now go to B and just look for all other B snapshots, and I will just take now this one, and when I tap on this, I can mutate now. I can merge these two states, for example by mutate beat. Nice. So in this way, you can explore many different variations of snapshots. And you can immediately go back. So when you want to save this whole session, just go on this little icon here, tap on save and enter your name. A thing I didn't explain yet is the collab mode, and for this I would just go on the website of Mazetools. Everything started with the idea to have a collaborative music tool, like you have a Google Docs and work together on a musical piece. Here we go back to 2019, so it was still pre-corona time. And the idea of Stefan was to make a research about collaborative music. So you exchange the data of the input, of the impulse, and all the data you put in. So all input I do goes out via OSC and look for another Mazetools Mutant app which is in the same Wi-Fi. Same way of Ableton Link. You can just enable it by tapping on the collaborative mode. It will start to exchange the sound data. When you have several devices with Mazetools Mutant on it and be in the same Wi-Fi, and all these devices will receive the data of the input you do on one device. So in this way you can have a session together. When you're in the same room and being together on a mixer, then you need to be in the same beats per minute and in the same pitch. So this is about the collab mode in Mazetools Mutant. So you see me, I'm right back in the Hypercube and just finish with some little session of the loop I did. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like, subscribe to our channel and have a look for Mazetools in your favorite store. Bye!
you.